Sir, what a message coming through for you. I mean, look at this. This is a piece of tape that was on my wall, and I saw it, and I felt guided to put it in your section of this book, which is where I write down the things that I receive in my meditation for your energy. And the message feels like, whoa, like what's going on with Cancer? But I will say my intuition and my general vibe of your particular energy, of your aura, is actually pretty damn good. Like, I feel like you're very powerful, very strong, but there's something you need to know about this kind of shadowy energy, or this, well, what I wrote down here is the great abyss. It feels as if you've touched the abyss. You've been to the abyss before, and you've collected some interesting things while there. You know, this could have been a dark night of the soul. This could have been some shadow work. This could have been feeling lost, and I'm hearing insecure, unsecure, unfamiliar with your surroundings, navigating shadow entities. You've been to these different layers of the abyss, and you've always come up with more knowledge than when you went down. You've always collected things that can help you if and should you ever need to go back into the abyss. Now, what I'm feeling here is that there's somebody around you. Maybe it's an aspect of yourself, or maybe it's just collective energies, but there's some energy over here that's in the abyss right now, and they're having a really hard time coming to the surface. They're not finding what they're looking for, or what they need to find in the shadow, or in their dark night of the soul, or whatever it is they're going through, because they're so focused on what I heard, and this is a metaphor. Maybe it's literal, but we'll talk about it in a second. And what I heard is that they're casting spells to get out of the abyss. Now, literally, someone could be casting spells, but metaphorically, it's almost as if they are, instead of trying to strengthen their self and work through their own fears, they're trying to project energy outward in order to raise up to the surface. So this could be someone who is using other energies to benefit themselves. It could be someone who's projecting their fears onto others, and it could be someone who's blaming and pointing the finger at others, maybe you, for being in the abyss, rather than understanding that in order to get out, they need to start doing some kind of exploration and work. They need to find their diving gear. Now, what I also got is, you being a water sign, a cardinal water sign, is that you have an aquatic heart. And I'm seeing this abyss as water, like the ocean, the sea, which represents oftentimes the subconscious mind or the shadow realms, or psychic intuition and creativity, the dark void, the feminine. It's both positive, or it has both its lighter polarity and its shadow polarity. And you being a cardinal water sign, you have an aquatic heart, meaning that when you go into the abyss, it's familiar to you. You have an easier time navigating it than, say, someone who has a lot of fire in their chart, or maybe even earth. I feel like an air sign might be able to navigate this a little bit easier. But they could forget to come up for air. Okay, I don't know what that's all about for everyone, but that's what I'm getting. So Spirit is saying this person is casting spells or summoning things or doing magic. Translate that however it makes sense to you. It doesn't have to be literal. They're doing these things in order to pull themselves out of a dark place. And Spirit is saying, don't do the same as what they're doing. Okay, even though you have an aquatic heart and it's easier for you to navigate, and maybe you can take some more risks when you go to the abyss. Okay, I'm hearing spell binding. I don't know. It feels like this person's really playing with something they shouldn't, okay, within themselves or maybe externally. I feel like they're doing damage to themselves at some level, okay, energetically. Now, the other thing I got is something might break around you, and this is absorbing some kind of energy that shouldn't come your way. It's a protection. So don't get upset about something breaking. You can put it back together if you want. It's okay. Or you can throw it out depending on what it is. But that moment that it breaks, and I feel like you might even have an intuition before it breaks, like, oh, if I put that there, it might break, or you have some kind of awareness, or you've been thinking about something and then something breaks. It's intentional. It's some kind of protection for you. I got 5 o'clock. I don't know. 5 o'clock could be an important time for someone. 200. What else did I get? Oh yeah, the question, how do I survive the great below? And I feel like that's the other person's energy, or this collective energy, right? If you can't think of an individual person who's stuck in the abyss and doing some kind of spell casting, projecting, or whatever they're doing, then this is a collective energy that's kind of lost its way, okay? And maybe they're calling on you to help pull them out. Very interesting. Yeah, because it started, I had somebody's phone number here and I crossed it out because obviously, I'm trying to protect their privacy. And so I did that. I was like, oh, that's interesting. That must mean something. I've never done that before. I said my prayers, and then I went to put my singing bowl back up, which I use in my prayers. And then I saw this tape curled up on the wall, which I had to stick my aliens up for my Halloween costume. And then it reminded me of this, and I felt guided to just put it here. So the pieces of something might just start to come together and give you the information you need. Oh, I also got that, I don't know if I said this already, that somebody might be just flung out of your orbit. It's like their energy is just not compatible. They may remove themselves, or suddenly someone's like, you don't hear from them, you wonder what happened to them. They've exited your orbit for a reason. Okay? It's just like they're not compatible. They're not, I'm getting they're not running the same code as you. Maybe the same light code. Okay? So let's get into your reading, Cancer, and see what comes through for you. I haven't pulled any cards, so I'm curious if we're going to go more into this message. I feel like we will, but I'm open to see whatever comes through. That's your energy too. Okay, you're open. So let's begin with this deck. What is the overall theme of the reading for Cancer? What is it that they need to hear? I'm hearing what they need to discuss. What do they need to discuss? Cancer, I got interrupted, and I feel like it's part of your message. You may get interrupted, or something happens that stops you from proceeding with your thoughts, with your downloads, with your manifestations, with something that you're working on, or maybe you have an action you want to take and then something happens and it causes like a momentary setback. It's there to support you. Spirit wants you to pause and reflect and think about something before you go ahead and do it, or to slightly alter something. I feel like part of this interruption is Spirit saying, well, let's just confirm that. Yeah, portal. I was getting to stay hidden. And then we have portal, open, close. It feels like as we energetically kind of go into this abyss message, it feels like we might be opening an energy portal that Spirit has closed for you. Like you've already closed out that cycle. You've come up from the abyss. You're not meant to go back down and save somebody and bring them up. They're doing something funky down there. They may have their eye on you. And Spirit's saying, leave that portal closed. And you may be seeking out readings on this whole situation and this person for more information. And while I feel like that's innocuous and that's fine, be careful of how much energy you give over to this situation. How much you want to open the portal to the situation. Limits. Yeah, look at the bottom. Limits. You need to set a limit of how much you want to know, okay? Because there is some kind of weird energy that's going on over there. And I feel like once you really focus in on it and zone in on it, it's like the energy sees you. And right now it can't totally. It's like you're hidden, you're cloaked. there's no access to you in some sense, even if somebody thinks there is, or even if this is just an energy, like an abysmal energy, it doesn't have access to you right now. But the more you go in, the more it does. So is there a way to obtain information while keeping that portal closed? I don't know, Spirit, is there? Adversary, hard work, diligence, and progress. Possibly, as long as you don't undo any hard work that you've done. You've made a lot of progress setting boundaries or stepping away or realizing where you've grown, where cycles have closed. And look at that. Critical thinking, discernment, and insight. Spectre, if suddenly you feel called to think more about something that's kind of in the past for you, or that you've decided shouldn't be in your energy, then make sure that you're putting up the right protective shields around you. Okay. Let's get in further. Let's see what comes through. Maybe something else is going to come through here. Spirit just wanted you to know about that. Exiting your orbit, right? Like this whole thing is exiting your orbit. The shadow, eternal child, and the starborn. Wow. This is what's supporting you. Okay, so I'm getting that with the shadow and the eternal child. When you went into the abyss, or if you're there now, you're doing some inner child work. You're finding those parts of you that are joyful and creative that have been pushed to the side because they weren't valued or they were threatened in some sense. And you're bringing them back to life, the starborn, to help you uncover the next moves in your life, the next steps in your life. There's something playful that was, hidden in your shadow that you have brought to your conscious awareness for yourself. And I feel like it's like gazing into the abyss, right? That Nietzsche quote, right? If you gaze into the abyss long enough, it will gaze back into you. Beware of when you fight monsters, you don't become one yourself. Right. So it's like you're aware of this abyss space, energetic space that somebody's caught in, and they're doing weird things in there. And it's like the more you peer into that abyss, the more it sees you, the more you open this portal for that inner child, the eternal child, to slip back into. Do you get what I'm saying? So Spirit's really telling you to be careful. Have some mental boundaries here, where anytime you feel that energy or you feel called to kind of, I don't know, daddle in it, Spirit's saying you're risking your growth. You could be going backwards in a sense into an old cycle. You've really come a long way and you've birthed something new for yourself. And this is why something breaks in your energy. It's to absorb that energy of the abyss that, is coming up. And then you might get interrupted to stop you from going further into something. So what's going on, Cancer? What's really on your mind right now? What are you thinking about a lot that feels like it's linked to some energy that is not good for you, or that something weird is going on? What is that for you? And once you really know what that is, decide whether you want to open or close that portal. And know that if you want to close it and you don't want to be sucked into it, then you need to create some limits in your energy and your mental energy too. Okay. Let's see what's challenging you. The ring. It's reminding me of Lord of the Rings, my precious. The siren. Yeah, my precious. It's like some energy. The siren is like a seductress, a temptress, someone calling you from the abyss, from the ocean, from the sea. Come, come, find the precious, find the ring. Like, it's... No, I don't think you should. Anima Mundi. Right, because this is a card of like everything's possible. And anything is possible in the abyss. And you cannot know all of the abyss. You just can't know what will happen down there in this energetic realm that this person's in. Or even like if you want to make the abyss mean the shadow, you'll never know all of the shadow. And when you go into a shadow space with another energy, or even with yourself, you do have to have limits. You do have to be careful. You do have to find your way out. And I feel like this is Spirit saying, leave this alone. Okay, the box. And create some boundaries around it. Put it in a box and tuck it away. Or put it out on the curb. I don't know. There's something here, and it might be affecting you on a day-to-day basis, whatever this is. But you could do something to protect yourself from its energy. So tell me more about Cancer. I have to go back and watch this reading. I want to know what the exact last thing I said was before I got interrupted. Wasn't it, what is it that you have to discuss? Right, so maybe that's it. Like you want to discuss something. You want to have a conversation with someone. And Spirit's stopping you from that, interrupting you from that. I'm really drawn to the back of this box here. I'm just going to see what these cards say. Fulfillment, deceit, and individuality. I do feel like whatever this energy is in the abyss, they may seem like a strong person, a strong character, but I do feel like they're lacking some sense of self. But they're self-deceiving, okay? Self-deception. Okay, I want to see Cancer's energy. The Hunter, sure-footedness and predestination. What the heck are you hunting down? Let me see. What are you hunting down, Cancer? The Seeker. Well, that's another card of the Hunter. The Hunter, the Seeker. Well, what? Do you know? Do you know what you're seeking? What you're hunting down? Right now, you have sure-footedness. You're stable. And I picked that up right away. There's something very strong in your energy. You're perhaps a mentor for others. Or you've handled something really well. Even if you think you haven't, you have. And maybe that's what gives you this feeling like, well, it won't quite affect me if I just delve into this, dabble into this energy, or figure out something that's going on. If I seek out more knowledge and information, it won't really hurt me. But it could cause a disturbance for you and what you're trying to achieve right now, or how you want to feel. What is Cancer seeking? The Ace of Swords. You're seeking truth, clarity. The clarity is not in the abyss. The clarity is finding our way out of the abyss and how we did that and what we needed to get in order to do that. And you've already done it, is what I feel. You don't need to have a discussion or a conversation with someone to know the truth. Whoever I'm connecting with today, that's what I'm feeling. I feel like the truth that you're seeking is inaccessible. Because that, like I said, deceit and individuality and fulfillment, it's like somebody doesn't really know themselves. So you're really not going to get the truth. Okay, give me some more for the challenge. the Lovers, and Power. Reversal. This could be a strong connection that you have with someone, okay? And they're in the abyss. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be with anybody. You had some kind of energetic tie. You formed a cord, perhaps, and it has a pretty powerful tug on you. And you are being asked to make a very powerful choice here. And the choice is to leave the portal closed. And it is your choice. Okay, no more about the Power. And then we're going to get some tarot. I'll get one more card for this. Four of Pentacles and Death. Right, it's reserving yourself, holding yourself back from engaging in something, protecting yourself, knowing that you have enough with whatever this is in order to make your decisions or to just move on, really. The important, powerful choice is to let this cycle end and conclude, to let it die, let it decay in the abyss. There's nothing for you to really see over there, but more illusions. And maybe they'll confirm what, will give you confirmation of what you already knew and all of that stuff, but you don't need that. So we'll move into the tarot spirit, but can I get a card for their energy? The King, Control, Reversal of Fortune. That, look, see? You're searching for the truth, the Ace of Swords, pointing up to the sky, to spirit, to light, to source consciousness. What is the truth? Tell me. And they're pointing their sword, which is broken, downwards. To the lower realms, to the subconscious mind, to the shadow. That's where they get their power from. That's where they feel their authority. It's not truth, it's deception. Self-deception, though, on a big level. They want to be king, queen, whatever. And they're doing it through control. And like I said, they're hurting themselves. Reversal of Fortune. They're damaging themselves by doing whatever they're doing. Let me find out one more, and then I promise we'll get into the tarot. But I want to know what are they doing? Son of Wands, Six of Pentacles, and the Father of Cups. A few things, okay? Pick what resonates with you, because I'm getting a couple different things. One is they could be giving people advice that's unwarranted, okay? It's not coming from a conscious place. It's coming from a place of wanting to sustain themselves or have their viewpoint be the Lovers, like people being stuck or bound maybe to what they have to offer. They want to be someone who has something to offer that others don't. I don't know. There's something going on there. That's for some of you. For others of you, they are giving you reason to believe that it's odd, okay? It's like nobody likes them, that they are, the black swan. They're different. Nobody likes them. Nobody gets them. Nobody understands them. But they're fine with, they actually like that. I don't know. It's kind of like a victim mentality, but intentionally being used to manipulate. That's for some of you. Anything else that I need to know that they're doing? 5 of Cups. Yeah, it's like a sulking kind of energy, but trying to lead with it, trying to gain some authority with it. It's hard to tap into them, probably because Spirit is saying, like, let's close the portal. Okay, so let's see what else wants to come through for you, Cancer. I hope this reading has been helpful. I think the biggest, these cards just feel so powerful to me. The energy coming from them. Portal and limits. With this abyss imagery. Three more. And I chose the Wild Unknown deck, and I feel like that's kind of how they're experiencing something right now. It's wild where they are. It's the abyss. It's unknown. They're trying to claw their way out through some weird means. They don't want to deal with a harsh truth. 9 of Cups and the 4 of Cups. That's what they're doing. It's maybe rejection. They're rejecting something that they actually asked for. Okay, Spirit, let's go where we need to go for the highest good of all. For Cancer. Holy schmoly. The 8 of Cups at the bottom. Yeah, close the portal. And that's coming out in your advice is to defend yourself. And in your challenge, it's the 6 of Swords, which is mentally detaching. So that's right on point. Okay? The Emperor. Yeah, I feel like you need to take control of the situation here for yourself energetically. And for some of you, it might not be that hard. It's just like, I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm just not going to touch that anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to, entertain that anymore. For others of you, this is going to require some real fortitude and discipline. Okay? Tap into your Saturn energy, wherever that is in your chart. You need to tell yourself, like, the more I lean into this strange character or strange energies, or there's something almost like, I don't know, it's not... this misguided energy, the more I follow them wherever they're going, by observing, checking on them, thinking about them, getting readings on them, whatever it is, right? The more I follow them into the abyss, the more the abyss comes to me. You need to really understand that and realize that. Okay, your overall energy is justice. And that's what you're trying to do ultimately with hunting and seeking the truth, is you're trying to correct the energies for yourself and come back into balance. And to understand the karma. And maybe this person being in the abyss feels like karmic justice for you. Let's find out what's going on here with justice. Cancer's energy. Ace of Wands. In a sense, it is. I just have to say it. In a sense, it is. Now, ultimately, it can be for their benefit if they're able to do what they need to do. But as of right now, the moment I'm reading on, I'm not seeing that at all. Okay? This person's choosing to remain unconscious about something, choosing to protect their ego, choosing to focus on others when they need to focus on themselves. There could even be forgiveness that they need to be thinking about that they're not. Forgiveness for themselves, or maybe they've casted doubt on someone when they shouldn't have. Your justice is always moving towards your passion and maximizing your potential to create in whatever way you think creation is, right? It could be artistic creation, it could be writing, it could be tarot, whatever you find creative in your life. Moving towards that potential is always justice for anything that's gone wrong for you, okay? Or anything someone did to you. When you decide to not follow that energy, instead move towards your potential, that's justice. And I'm seeing that here with the Ace of Wands. But I'm also seeing this Ace of Wands kind of as this person who, or this energy who at one point felt very powerful, and that's what they're trying to hold on to, is the power that they used to feel. And like I said, the very first thing I said was fire, right? Fire doesn't do well in the abyss, and this is the fire right here. Okay, so your opportunity right now is to take up something that enlivens you, a new passion that gets your spirit going, that lights you up inside. That's your justice. The Tower for what you don't see coming. Let's see, what's the Tower that Cancer doesn't see coming? The Son of Wands. And what are they doing? What is this? It's the vibe. Seven of Swords and the 10 of Swords. I almost said the 10 of Wands. 7 of Swords, 10 of Swords, and the Knight. The fire, right? It doesn't matter if this person is a fire sign or not, or whatever it is, but that's how they're coming through. You know, water puts fire out, right? So here they come, Knight of Wands, with deceptions and lies, sneakiness, cunning behavior, attempting maximum damage, or actually creating it, but for themselves, ultimately. So what you don't see coming is there is a Tower moment. I'm going to try to get a little bit more of what this looks like. Could be mental, like a mental Tower moment. Let me see. How is this affecting Cancer? And how is it affecting someone else? Oh, okay. So this Tower moment is not something that's going to harm you. It's going to enlighten you. It feels like when I asked how is this going to affect you, I got 9 of Cups, which is your wish fulfillment. Maybe you're hoping that something will happen here, that someone will have a wake-up call, which the Tower always is. Or that you yourself will have a wake-up call. Whatever is happening with the Tower, it's not a negative for you. It could be disruptive and shocking, but it's not going to harm you. Now, when I asked, how's the Tower for this other energy, I get the Hangman. This is like they're stuck in the burning building. They're not getting out of the Tower. Okay, so it's not good for this other energy, which is why you shouldn't move towards it, because you don't want to be stuck in that burning building either. Okay, you're the 9 of Cups. You're flowing, you're chilling over here with Justice and the Ace of Wands. And look at all this deception and backstabbing and betrayal, and them having to sit with that, to really sit with their own actions and what they've done. Something's about to get real bad here for someone. And I don't want it, like, I'm not prophetizing that, but I feel that in the cards. Like, I'm not trying to make that happen, but it's here. The Tower, the 7 of Swords, the Hangman, the 10 of Swords, Knight of Wands running right towards it, and you have Justice. It's not looking good, okay? And it has something to do with this so-called spell work they're doing, whatever that means. You know, I don't know. Okay, the 7 of Wands is a card of defending yourself. And there's the Ace of Wands here, right? Defending your light, your passion. Not putting out your own fire by going into the depths of this ocean and heeding their siren call. No, no. So tell me more about the 7 of Wands for Cancer's opportunity. The Wheel of Fortune. Right. the choice you make, the decision you make to keep the portal closed turns the wheel for you. It's the moment. I'm closing this portal. I'm seeing someone stitch something up. It's like, no more. That's not opening up for me. This person's going to have to go through whatever they go through, okay? And they are going to go through something. You know, it might be emotional. I don't know exactly. I don't really want to know too much about it either. Okay, for your own protection too, right? Like, we don't want to go too far into that. But whatever's going on for them, when you decide to leave it be and let it be their problem, which it is, they've created something for themselves, and move towards your creative potential, bringing that eternal child up to the surface, out into the world to be born, that's the moment things change around for you. So defend this new cycle that you've started. Defend it with all your might. Don't allow that energy to come close to you. I don't always speak so strongly, like with such conviction about, you know, what you should and shouldn't do, because ultimately it's your choice. But I feel it here. I do feel it. And there's been a lot of weird things coming through. Okay, the interruptions, the vision of the breaking glass. Okay, the Six of Swords for the challenge. This is mentally detaching from the situation. Burying some thoughts here. Son of Cups. Maybe the name Barry. Son of Cups. Knight of Cups and the Six of Swords. Give me one more. The Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. For some of you, you could be a counselor or a guide or a nurse or someone in the helping, healing profession, a tarot reader, whatever it is. And there's somebody who's gotten themselves into a real heap of an energetic spindle, I'm hearing. An energetic, they've spun themselves into a situation that's very sticky. And they could be asking for your help. They can help themselves. You're going to have to detach from the energy as much as possible, even if it's your duty to care for this person, like professionally or spiritually, if you feel that. You're going to have to be able to mentally separate their energy from your energy. Yeah, something about transference. Maybe you're going to start picking up on their energy, or, you know, you have to draw boundaries. That's for sure. They can handle it themselves, and they will. And what they might need is exactly, which is true, is to be able to do it themselves. Yeah. Okay, the advice is the Moon, which is your card, Cancer. The abyss, the great unknown, the darkness, the mystery, the illusions. So what is your advice with this, Spirit? Rest, Four of Swords. The Moon, like I said, your aquatic heart is your friend. It's your jam. Moon energy is your jam. The abyss is something you're familiar with. Obviously, you've already been there. So Spirit's saying, wear that badge of honor and use it to rest your mind. You know, you're not meant to get mentally sucked in to whatever's going on over here. There's nothing for you to fear. There isn't. Just know that. Okay? Daughter of Wands coming through? Messenger card. I am getting another message here. It just came through. You may be, and it goes back to you trying to help someone or a group of people or a collective or whatever. There may be another force behind something that you don't see. Okay, and this is what Spirit's telling you to keep closed, that portal to that other force. It doesn't mean you can't help somebody, but you have to be careful about how you do it. You have to know your limits. You may want to overextend yourself, or you could feel like you want to give your whole soul over to helping someone. But you can't in this situation. There's another force that you're not seeing that won't allow that to happen. What do I need to know about that? The puppeteer. Exactly. There's another force behind the scenes. Puppeteering. Explanations and apologies, it says. Somebody behind the curtain, you know, there's some kind of destiny, cycle underneath that's being played out here in this situation. I don't know. I feel like you just have to know your limits with this and help as much as you can without overextending yourself and with drawing a firm boundary, and protecting your energy. Okay, that's specific for someone. I don't know. Take it if it resonates or don't. The outcome, and I'm also going to do an extended reading. In the extended, we're going to go a layer deeper, see where else we're going with this message. If you'd like to come along, the link is in the description box below. If not, trust Spirit gave you all the information you needed. The outcome is the Lovers. This is your big decision, your big choice, right? Power and the Lovers over here. So let's see what you choose. Cancer. What do you choose? You choose conflict. 5 of Wands. 5 of Pentacles. Come on now. Really? Stop. Why? Why are these showing up? Father of Wands. This person's energy is really progressing here. They're getting more powerful. Cancer. Now, the future hasn't happened yet, and free will is a thing, so you can definitely change what's going to occur. But I'd be lying to you if I said that I don't see something concerning here. I do. What I'm seeing is you making a decision to continue on with this, to allow them to have some kind of power, which doesn't turn out well, creates conflict, spiritual poverty. It's a big letdown for you. So this may be a warning. I don't feel like it's too late to turn back, or why would Spirit even bother giving you the reading? Okay, but I do see you leaning in this direction of like, well, yeah, I know it's not good, but I can't stop myself. Yes, you can. Okay, I feel like we need another card to close this out because that was unexpected. Now, if you're over there and you're saying, screw you, Andy, which is my name, I'm definitely not going to choose the abyss, then good. Maybe that was what you needed, is to hear me say that so you could get real firm with yourself and say, no, I'm not going to choose the abyss. But for those of you who are like, she's probably calling me out, listen up, all right? This is not a good choice to make. I mean, it's your decision, and it will play out the way it needs to. But know that it's your choice to open that portal back up to the abyss. Lost in space, needing direction. Moon Maiden, new beginnings. That's what Spirit's trying to move you towards. Okay, I'm going to read the Lost in Space, and then we'll close it out. Feeling lost, needing direction and focus, a 24-hour day. Sometimes in life we lose our way, perhaps falling prey to an addictive behavior, jealousy, comparison, resistance, or fear. This happens especially when we are up-leveling and genuinely changing for the better, which you are. A part of us, hiding in the vast expansiveness of space, the abyss, wants to sabotage our progress. In the transformation process, our inner world no longer feels safe or inhabitable as we find that our thoughts and beliefs have morphed beyond recognition. You are becoming someone new, someone different. You've awakened a part of you that hasn't been around for a long time. And it could feel uncomfortable and unfamiliar. But it's new potential, and it's coming from a place of healing. So Spirit wants you to embrace that and not to be lured back in with this Siren card into a familiar place that is also a place that's dark. And that's also what the moon in the Four of Swords is indicating here. It's like you could feel real comfortable in that darkness, in the abyss, in the illusions, in the lies, because you've been dealing with it for so long. But it doesn't mean that it's right for you. Something that's familiar is not the same thing as something that is for you, that is good for you. It's just familiar. It's a program. Okay. You may find yourself adrift in this way right now, unable to focus or determine the next step. You might be tired and simply needing to regroup and rest. When you lack direction, the first thing to do is redirect your perspective of time. Like a newborn baby who needs swaddling to feel safe, you're invited to reduce your life visioning to the next 24 hours. Anyone can handle living in a 24-hour compartment, which allows everything to feel grounded and manageable. You get lost in space when you imagine being swallowed up in the great vastness, the giant vastness of the future with its dark uncertainty, or reflect on how your past has held you captive in a hall of distorted, never-ending mirrors, reminding you of your mistakes and flaws, failures, and losses. Take heart that the simple 24-hour container immediately banishes those two awful eternities away. You will find your energy and focus restored as you recognize that you were never lost at all. Keep it simple. Right now, conserve your energy and take care of you in basic, fundamental ways, and the world will be right again. 24 hours. Yeah, 5 o'clock, right? I don't know what time it is for you, but it's like the immediate, right? It's nearby 5 o'clock or whatever. 24 hours. Spirit wants you to just focus on that. In the present moment, 24 hours. What can you do to take care of yourself? What can you do to move towards this potential? Maybe you could drink some water. That's a good move for your potential to hydrate yourself. Maybe you could watch something that you really enjoy. Maybe you could go for a walk. Maybe you could do something creative. 24 hours. That's it. Focus on that. It will help break some energy here that's kind of like calling to you. That is no good for you, Cancer. All right, I'm going to go to the extended. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.